All right, Honors Geometry crew. I'm going to do the first few problems on the lesson check today from section 11.2. This is surface area of prisms and cylinders. Please look at the notes that I've posted for this section. There's kind of a lot of definitions. All right, I mean, definition of a prism, definition of a cylinder, and we have lateral area, surface area, okay? So just make sure that you read the section, you understand the different parts of a prism and a cylinder, all right, and it'll help you as far as finding surface area. Now, for all of these problems on page 703, I'm just going to find the surface area. Sometimes the problem will just ask you to find the lateral area, okay? So if we take a look at the first problem, they give us a cube. Actually, is it? No, it isn't. It's a rectangular prism. All right, so they give us a rectangular prism. And I know it's a rectangle because they say this is 5, this is 4, and this is 5 over here. So in this example, our bases are the top and the bottom. Those are our bases. They're rectangles. All right. All 4 sides going around the cube, those are called lateral faces. So sometimes when the problem just says, find the lateral area of your solid, all you need to do is find the area of all 4 faces, all right? And in order to do that, they give you the formula, lateral area is equal to perimeter times height. Now, the problems that we're going to be doing, we need to find surface area. All right? Surface area is all of the sides. Okay? So it's the lateral area plus 2 times the area of your bases. That's what the capital B is. Capital B means area of the bases. Okay? So I'm going to be doing surface area just because when you find surface area, you have to find lateral area as well. So for number 1, lateral area, we need to do perimeter times the height, okay? Well, and that's the perimeter of your base. So the perimeter of the base is 5 plus 4 plus this one back here is going to be 5. And this is going to be 4. So it's 5 plus 4, 5 plus 4. All right? So we know that the perimeter is going to be 18. All right? So if we're trying to find the surface area here, lateral area is perimeter, which is 18, times the height. The height is 5. And we need to add 2 times the area of the bases. Well, remember, we learned the area of a rectangle is just base times height, so 5 times 4 is 20. All right? So you get your trusty calculator. All right? 18 times 5, all right, is equal to 90. And you're going to add 40, okay? So the final answer, 130 inches squared. All right? So this was number 1. Now, number 2, I really like number 2 because it brings in a bunch of different things that we've already learned. So we have our triangle. And this comes down like this. This comes down like this. This comes across. All right, so there's my triangular prism. It's a triangular prism because my bases are triangles, okay? The top and the bottom. Now, my lateral faces, once again, with any prism, whether it's a triangular prism, a rectangular prism, a pentagonal prism, an octagonal prism, anything, your lateral faces will always be rectangles going around this thing. And then the bases are just, you know, whatever it's called, triangles, pentagons, all right? So there's going to be problems in the homework where, like, you're going to be given a hexagonal prism. You got to find what remember, in surface area, you got to find 2 times the area of your bases. And if the bases are hexagons, remember, the area of a hexagon is 1/2 opitham times perimeter. So don't forget how to do that stuff, all right? So we're going to do the area of a triangular prism here. Once again, lateral area is equal to P times H, perimeter of the base, times the height. And they tell us this is 7 and 7. The surface area is going to be your lateral area plus 2 times the area of your base. And the area of our base is a triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. Now, look at what we got here. This triangle is a 45, 45, 90 because my 2 legs are congruent. So I know that this side length right here, that side length, is going to be 7 root 2. That's what they say for 45, 45, 90. The legs are congruent, 7 and 7, and the hypotenuse is going to be 7 times the square root of 2. So my lateral area in this case, oh, and they also tell us that the height here is 6. The lateral area, all right, lateral area is perimeter times height. So the perimeter is 7 plus 7 plus 7 root 2. Well, 7 plus 7 plus 7 root 2. You can only add the first 2 sevens. You can't add this in because this has a square root of 2 on it. All right? So the surface area is going to be 14 plus 7 root 2 times the height, which is 6. All right? Plus 2 times the area of the base. Well, the area of the base is just 7 times 7 and then times 1/2. All right? So I get 24.5. That's the area of the triangle. Do not forget to distribute this 6 to both terms, okay? So 14 times 6 is 84. All right, that was 14 times 6. You also have to do 6 times 7 root 2. You can only multiply the 6 by the 7. So this is 42 root 2. And then we're adding 2 times 24.5, which is 49. So when we add these together, we can only add the 84 and the 49, and I get 133 plus 42 root 2, and I think this is feet squared. All right, you can leave it like that, which is simplest radical form. They did not specify what they wanted in the directions, so if you did a decimal point, you can do that too. So you would just multiply 42 times the square root of 2, all right? 42 times root 2, and then add that to 133. I got 192.4. So either one of these are good answers, okay? Now, let's do the easier problems. The easier problems are cylinders, all right? This problem was number 2. So number 3, they give us a cylinder, which is like a Pringles can. All right, and they tell us the radius here is 3, the height is 5. Anything with circles, like a cylinder, a sphere, anything with a circle is going to be easier than a prism. All right, because lateral area, and I'm getting this right from your book, of a cylinder is 2 pi r times the height. All right, now this, all right, is your lateral area for a cylinder. You can also write this as pi times diameter times the height. It doesn't matter, okay? Because 2 times the radius is just diameter. This is just how I look at it, all right? So lateral area is 2 pi r times the height. Now, if we take a look at, lateral area of a cylinder is 2 pi r times the height. Lateral area of a prism is pi times the, perimeter times the height. Isn't 2 pi r just the perimeter of a circle? It's circumference. So these are the same exact things, except the nice thing about circles is that you have, all circles are similar. So you're using the same formula to find area, all right? So the surface area is just equal to your lateral area, 2 pi RH, okay, plus 2 times the area of your bases, which is 2 times pi r squared. Your bases are just circles. Pi r squared is the area of your circle. You multiply that by 2, you get both of them. So you just plug in. So if I'm finding the surface area of this cylinder, it's 2 pi times the radius, which is 3, all right? The height is 5, plus 2 times pi, the radius once again is 3 squared. And I just start plugging this in. So 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 5 is 30, so we have 30 pi right here, all right? 3 squared is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, we have 18 pi right here. We can just add these together, 48 pi, and this is centimeters squared. So that is your area of that first cylinder. Now, for the second cylinder, they're trying to trip you up. Oh boy, they pushed the Pringles can over. Who cares? All right? It's the same exact thing. They tell me, here is the height, 12 meters. Even though I knocked the Pringles can over, this is still your height. Remember, your bases are always the shapes on the top and the bottom. Circle, circle. This going around is your lateral area. So this is still my height, 12 meters. And they tell me the diameter, all right, the diameter is 10 meters. Well, lateral area is equal to 2 pi r times the height. All right, on the quiz for this section, I would have all of these formulas and problems written out next to you while you're taking the quiz. It'll make it a lot easier. Base everything off of that. All right, surface area is equal to the lateral area, which is 2 pi RH, plus 2 times pi r squared. Let's plug and chug. 2 pi, what is the radius? The radius is 5, all right? Times the height, which is 12. Plus 2 pi r squared, remember? Radius is 5. So we are now ready to just plug and chug. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 12, 120 pi. Plus 25, 5 squared is 25, times 2 is 50 pi. Our answer, 170 pi meters squared. All right? So that's how you do these problems. All right? The hardest part, whenever you have a cylinder, cylinders are super simple. All right? Cylinders are super simple. Whenever you have prisms, I mean, rectangular prisms are very easy too. The triangular one, look at what I had to remember. I had to remember a 45, 45, 90. All right, I needed to remember that. If there's a problem in your notes here, like number 10. Number 10 is a hexagonal prism. You need to remember how to solve for the area of a hexagon, which is 1/2 AP. So you get whatever the area of the hexagon is, all right, multiply it by 2. That'll give you the 2 times the area of the base, and then just add that to the lateral area, all right? So just make sure you do these problems. Make sure you read the section because there's a lot of like definitions in the section, all right? And then make sure if you need to rewatch this video, you rewatch the video. All right, stay healthy, guys. Have a great day. You'll have a quiz on this, on Friday, I think. All right, see you later.